Third down and 20.
What is going on? Welcome back, episode 33 of the 3rd and 20 podcast. My name is Frank Entwistle. We got the main man, the co-host himself, Ryan Steed. What's going on, Ryan? How you doing?
What's going on? Well, after the week we had betting, not so well. But
Yeah, not very well.
looking forward.
Rough week, man. Rough week for the 3rd and 20 gang. But you know we're gonna hit it strong after in these conference championships. But before we get into that, let's just recap anything we found interesting from the divisional week. I'm going to start it off with that Browns-Chiefs game. Obviously, as we all know, Patrick Mahomes is injured. I do think he will play. I think they're really going to force him to play, even though this whole concussion stuff has been spotlighted in recent years. I really do. Do you see any way where Patrick Mahomes doesn't play this game?
Yeah, I think he's going to play. He has to play. It just seems like they're putting that kind of like pressure for him to play. And, it just wouldn't be like an AFC championship matchup without Patrick Mahomes. I think the league will do like anything. Like the Chiefs will do everything in their power to make sure Patrick Mahomes is ready. And also, like, Patrick Mahomes will want to play this game. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And I think the other thing that I noticed from that game, first off, we got a hats off to the Browns for just kind of sticking around. I mean, The Chiefs had so many opportunities to really put them away. I think that interception in the red zone from Chad Henne really gave the Browns a little bit more life than they should have been given at the end of that game, because they scored that touchdown in the red zone. The game's practically over. It's not over, but it's practically over. Let's be real here. I don't know. Do you have anything to say about that game?
Well, the fumble on the 1 yard line where he reaches out for the goal line, that if I'm a Browns fan, I had to look back at that as just a costly play, where every little, like, it's a game of inches, like we say. And, if he just goes down, you have Chubb, you got 3 downs to get it in, or, if he does get in the end zone, that's a different outcome of that game. Because, like you said, the Browns, especially when Patrick Mahomes came out, it kind of felt like, well, the Browns could win this game, and they were able to cash in there. And afterwards, Patrick Mahomes does go out like that, then I think we're talking about the Browns and the AFC Championship right now, and not, the Chiefs.
I don't remember what game it was, but that whole fumbling through the end zone for a touchback came up late in the season, either last year or 2 years ago. I remember talking about that because they were saying how Bill Belichick teaches his players and tells his players, don't dive with the ball for first downs or for the end zone unless you know you're scoring. And even if, like, just live to fight another play, don't reach unless you really need to, unless it's like a 4th down, crucial. Because, I mean, I forget what, maybe it was a Steelers game that I'm thinking that this happened, because there was it wasn't the Jesse James one, I don't think, but there was a situation, maybe it was actually, where you had a guy reaching the ball out, going for a first down or a touchdown, and you lose control of the ball. And you're right. That's such not only is it just a big point swinger, right? It's a huge momentum swinger. Your offense, you drive down the whole length of the field and then turn the ball over in the red zone. Speaking of turn the ball over in the red zone, let's talk about that Ravens game. Like, Lamar with that, like, first red zone turnover in, like, how many possessions? Like, it's the first of his career. I know for a fact.
He hasn't had one since, I think the last one he's had, the last one I remember specifically of Lamar was when Louisville was playing Clemson his junior year, and he threw a pick in the red zone, and Louisville lost the game because of it. And, it's just tremendous. Like, we brought up that stat for the last 2 weeks. That was the deciding factor right there. Because if they convert there, and they score like they usually do in the red zone, 10-10 ball game, anything can happen. An infamous pick six that goes 100 yards, that's going to drive you down the dirt. And who got the pick again? Like, what's his name? Thompson?
Teron Johnson. Yeah, I remember watching him in the combine. He got nailed in the face with a football during the combine.
Yeah. So complete 180 for this guy, going from getting nailed in the head to making like the biggest play and for Buffalo in the last 20 something years, so huge underdog story, honestly.
I mean, people are always talking about the Bills' offense being the reason why they've gotten this far. Their red zone defense is the reason that they've won these last couple playoff games.
Hmm.
Indy couldn't do anything in the red zone. It felt like until they were down multiple scores in the second half. And Baltimore, a team that has just been notorious for being really, really good and efficient in the red zone. Lamar has his first red zone turnover in years. Like I don't know what's going on in Buffalo, but there's some magic happening. Buffalo's
It
got
sounds
the
like it.
magic.
What was the last time they were in the Super Bowl? Like
The
they
90s.
were, yeah, like 94 when they
Yeah, when
lost
they
four
lost
straight.
all those Super Bowls, man. I'm rooting for Buffalo. I hope
I
Buffalo
am
wins
too.
it.
I bend but don't break defense, dude. It's exciting to watch.
Yeah, and the funny thing about it too is that their secondary was kind of getting picked apart early in the season, and it's finally come back to that secondary that we saw last season for the Bills that
Hmm.
was really good, that was tough to throw the ball into. I mean, you've seen it the past couple games. Yeah, the Colts when they were really down the game were starting to able to throw the ball. Their run defense in the red zone has gotten a lot better. So the Buffalo is finally starting to kick it together in all years, except for being able to run the ball. They can't run the ball still. But let's move into reactions with that Breeze versus Brady. Probably Drew Brees' last football game. To be honest, that was a surprising game to see from the Saints. Uh, you just don't see those games where a Breeze turns the ball over like that, where he's just
Yeah.
that off. And to be honest, I'll give credit to the Bucks defense. They have been playing some really tight, good coverage. They got Devin White back for this football game, and you can see it because Aaron Rodgers in that previous matchup threw a couple pick sixes against this tight coverage. Now they gave Breeze fits. I was coming into the season saying, "Hey, this is a weakness for this football team." Saying, the Bucks defense, I'm scared for their secondary. I'm scared about their D backs. Man, they have really been kicking it into a whole nother gear, especially that last playoff game. It was a nice defensive battle. You have any thoughts from that one, Steve?
Yeah, more than likely that's going to be Drew Brees' last game, and it's just sad to see him go out on that note. Just like kind of hold that burden where those turnovers were costly because I felt like the Saints, were in control of that game for major part of that game until like it came down to those picks, and eventually the turnovers came to bite him in the butt. And dude, I gotta give props to Devin White. Like I loved him out of LSU, and the dude's an absolute monster around the ball. It just looks like he knows where to go every single play. And we said when the season was winding down, like we could see this Bucks team be a legit Super Bowl threat. And after that performance, the way the defense held, and then of course you got the goat on the other side of the ball. I mean, they play like that. I really do not know if the Packers can, beat them.
Yeah, and lastly, Slant Boy held to 0 catches. You paid him all that
That
money.
sucks.
Man, like who saw that coming from this Bucks secondary? Like if you were to say in the beginning of the season, they're holding Michael Thomas to 0 catches in Drew Brees' last game, probably in the
Hmm.
divisional round of the playoffs. Man, crazy stuff. And then lastly, we have that Rams Packers game. To be honest, it seems like the moment maybe was a little bit too big for that Rams team. The defense, I saw a lot of miscommunications out of that group. What were your thoughts on that game?
It was just, yeah, the Rams defense. Maybe it was like a little bit like they were too because like I'll give Packers credit. Like this is still like this is an elite offense. This is number one offense, and just kind of felt like the Rams were kind of in the game for a little bit, but they could never really get anything going truly. And it's just I had a feeling like the Rams would need like a miracle to win this game, like a couple pick sixes or something to turn the tides, and that's just not going to happen when Rodgers playing at MVP level. and it just wasn't written in the stars for him. I thought like the Rams offense wasn't playing too terrible. Like it's still like just not what we've seen from the past, and maybe Jared Goff was halted by like that injury, but it wasn't good enough to like be like to beat the Packers. Like you got to have something more, and yeah, I was kind of just hoping that the Rams defense would play shut down like they did with Seattle, but it just clearly didn't happen.
Yeah, the whole thing and why I like the Rams coming into that football game to cover the spread, not win the game. It's just I thought that Rams defense was going to be able to mitigate the big plays that the Packers offense produces, right? It's just how they are able to create offense in chunks just out of nowhere. And boy, was I wrong because that Packers offense looked like they had basically all those other games that they had smacked teams on their road to 13-3 and another conference championship. It's just you give you get a comfortable Aaron Rodgers and you give him time and he's feeling it, he's going to dice your defense up. And that's the way that you need to beat him is you cannot let these receivers get over the top. You can't let them make these chunk plays because it's hard enough to beat them regular. You start giving him those momentum, those game changing plays that really increase
Mhm.
your odds at winning. They're too good for you to beat them like that. Now let's get into the matchups for next week. We are going to find like kind of once again we did it in the beginning of the playoffs before the season. We're going to be once again predicting the Super Bowl, almost like mending our predictions. Almost, my two teams are still in it. The I just took the cop out and went Packers Chiefs because it's like, all right, I don't see either of those teams really losing until the conference championship. But Steed, I will give you the chance since your Ravens lost. Who do you think is going to be in the Super Bowl? AFC, NFC. Why don't you kick it off?
All right, NFC, I'm still going to do it. I'll die on this grave. I do not think the Packers are going to make the Super Bowl.
Who saw this coming, guys? Who saw it coming?
I'm going to be rooting for the Bucks and Tom Brady. I know that the Bucks are in our division, and I like just I'm not confident in the pick. I'm just doing this solely because I don't like the Packers, but I'm gonna believe in Tom. Tom's gonna, give him a chance to get one more with a new team, and I like how this defense is playing. If they can, they're healthy and they can get around the ball. This is a team that's going this game. This is a team that beat the Packers earlier on the season. Granted, like it was off of huge turnovers, but if they're able to muster out that again, then I still liked the Bucks here. So I'm gonna go Bucks, and this is tough because I'm just gonna think that Patrick Mahomes is playing. Like I'm sure he's gonna play. But I kind of like the Bills too. You know what? Screw it, dude. I'm going with the Bills to upset the Chiefs, and I got Josh Allen versus the Bucks in the Super Bowl, and I'm gonna take the Bills to win the Super Bowl.
All right. Well, I, you know, when I was coming into this before the episode, I'm thinking, all right, who am I going to take for this damn Chiefs game, right? Like the Chiefs are just so good. Their defense and offense are playing really well, but I'm buying into the magic of Buffalo. I'm buying in
Yeah.
because I've went against the Bills spread both rounds of the playoffs here. Hit week 1, did not hit that last week with the Ravens. And even though I'm still scared that this team can't run the ball, I am scared about how well the Chiefs defense has been playing, especially that secondary. You got L'Jarius Sneed and Tyron Matthew both playing really they had phenomenal games against the Browns last week.
Mhm.
But when push comes to shove, this Bills team has showed up. That red zone defense, I believe. Josh Allen, I believe. I don't care what happened the last matchup. Bills, we are taking it. We are going to the Super Bowl. On the other side
So
of the coin, on the NFC side, I'm going to go with the Packers. It's just, you know, when I look at that Packers team, and especially looking at the game back last weekend, I didn't get to see it live. I had to watch it back. I'm just not sure anyone can stop that Packers team right now. I know that the Bucks beat them the last time around. It's almost like I'm going against the grain, right? Because both the teams I'm picking lost their matchups last time they played each other. It's just this Packers team. I'm really feeling that Super Bowl vibe from the Packers. Last year, they played a really
Yeah.
easy schedule. The Niners were looking really tough. But dude, this Packers team, that offense is just disgusting. I don't really think anyone can stop them with how Aaron Rodgers is playing, the big plays. The only way I see the Bucks winning is if they're able to do what they did last time, just force some turnovers because they basically got two pick sixes. If Aaron Rodgers goes out there and doesn't turn the football over, I think they win the football game.
Yeah, I agree with you to the point. Like the Packers' offense is deadly. You can see it under his second season under Lafleur. That it's just hitting on all cylinders right now, and he's got chemistry with everybody. But the X factor in this game has been the X factor in every single big game that he's played in. It's Tom Brady. If Tom Brady has a chance to win the ball game late, he gets it done, and that's what I'm kind of just planning for, and just gonna put my trust in the goat.
Yeah, dude, it's tough betting against the goat here. I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind come the picks, but I'm gonna go Bills Packers. Bills win it. You know, if the Packers make it, I think that whoever on the AFC side, because I remember when the Steelers made it against the Packers, they went to you had a group of guys, Aaron Rodgers going to his second Super Bowl. I don't know. I'm not feeling the Packers if they make the Super Bowl. I feel like we're gonna see some mistakes out of them. Because you never know what you're getting in a Super Bowl. Um,
Yeah, you
so
never
yeah, I'm
know.
going Bills Packers. Dude, there's just the Bills, man. If your team isn't in the playoffs, I feel like you just can't root against the Bills. What happened to them in the '90s? Just Josh Allen and the squad, like the Bills fans, the Bills mafia. How can you root against the Bills? How can you root against this team?
Clearly, if you're rooting against the Bills, it's because your team is playing the Bills that week, and I think that's the only legit case you have. Other than that, like you cannot be hating on this team. Like this team is literally came up from the ground nothing. Sean McDermott's done a great job coming in there, and Josh Allen with his MVP season, made the great move to get Stephon Diggs for that first round pick, and it's paid out in extremely. And like we said, this defense just came on late. Like, dude, you have to love this team. It's just a fun team to watch.
All right, real quick before we move on, what do we think the X factors are for these games? I'll take the Bills Chiefs one. You can take the NFC one. So Bills Chiefs X factor is how are these Chiefs blitzes going to work against the Bills? Josh Allen the last time he played the Chiefs started off really slow. I'm pretty sure he started off like 2 of 9 passing for something like 17 yards to start off the football game. And I think that was in large part due to the fact that the Chiefs were able to get home, move him off his spot a little bit, not let him get outside the pocket, just get him under duress, move the pocket a little bit, but not let him escape. I'm really interested to see now that we see a Josh Allen that is just a little bit different now. He's really confident. You got all the weapons back. Everything's flying on, just going on all cylinders. So I'm really interested to see this Chiefs defense that I think has been one of the most underrated groups here in the second half of the season. We all know that beginning of the season they were doing really well, but in that Browns game they looked really good.
Hmm.
I'm curious to see what if they can mitigate the Bills' offense for a second time, or are we going to see the Bills' offense really start firing this game?
Yeah, I think the X factor for the NFC Championship game is it might be a little bit of cop out, but I mean it was the X factor in the last time they met is if the Bucks can create turnovers and score out those turnovers. When they got the picks and they scored on them, it kind of just put the Packers behind the 8 ball last time they played, and Tom Brady was able to just kind of like game manage and coast to the win. If it's just like anytime you go up against a lead offense like this and a team that has it, the MVP, and they're rolling, they're confident, you need a couple things go your way on defense, and that's what they're going to have to hope for. Kind of like the way the defense showed up last week with the turnovers. You're going to need that again because if you get in a shootout with them where it's just, they score and you have to answer and you're just not creating anything, like I don't know if the Bucks offense would be able to keep up with this Packers offense like at the end of the day.
Yeah, I like that. The other thing I want to see too is just these big plays. It's just the Packers, man. They are just torching defenses left and right with the big plays. I saw the Bucks kind of get lit up by Justin Herbert and the Chargers, so I'm going to be interested to see the secondaries playing better. But we've seen them kind of get burnt. They got burnt against the Chiefs too in that matchups that we saw. That was like 425. I forget what week it was, like week 12, week 13, somewhere in there.
Granted though, in that game they did make a pretty quick adjustment to where, like, Tyreek Hill had like 250 yards in the first quarter and it looked like it was going to be a blowout. And then the second half, the Chiefs don't really score ever again. So if Devontae Adams has 250 yards in the first quarter, probably the game's over. But you kind of hope it's kind of a good sign if they can make a quick adjustment like that and get them back in the ball game.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if it follows a similar pattern. If the because that's what happened in the last matchup. If the Packers start off a little hot and then the Bucks adjust and are able to come back in that football game, I'm really excited for both of these games. It's going to be awesome. Also, conference championship, in my opinion, best week of football. But let's move on into the other side of the spectrum, the guys more towards the bottom of the barrel, and let's start. Let's rank the head coaching signings thus far. Let's rank them. So for those who don't know or just haven't been following, the Falcons, Jaguars, Jets, Lions, and Chargers have all found head coaches. 5 out of the 7 teams that need a head coach have been found. And let's just go like 1-1, 2-2 from there. So who do you think is the best head coaching signing thus far, in your opinion, Mr. Steed?
I think it's got to be Saleh going to the Jets. Adam Gase, I think everybody can easily say that Adam Gase is just really didn't get it done. But like Saleh, just like from what we've seen from him in San Francisco, like building that insane defense, looks like a team guy and like a guy that like can bring like some hope. He was a big like hire, like a lot of teams wanted him. So it's a big hire for him. And I just think he brings like a little hope and confidence to the Jets fan base saying, like, listen, we're going to go all in with one guy. I think at the end of the day, it'd be Saleh. So I would have Saleh at one.
I like that. So I'll get into him a little bit with my thoughts on him, but my number one is going to be a little bit of a cop out. It's going to be Urban Meyer with the Jags. And at first, I wasn't huge into Urban Meyer. I was thinking, they're just kind of chasing the hype. I'm not sure if this is going to be the guy, but going around and seeing the staff that he's putting together around him, I am really excited about. He was able to get someone from Ohio State, one of the higher ups, to be like around director of player personnel or some role like that. I'm pretty sure he picked up Raheem Morris from the Falcons to play a role in that defense.
Lucky.
He is putting together a whole lot of moves that I am starting to really fall in love with. Because originally I was thinking, I'm not sure Urban Meyer is just going to be able to carry the Jaguars, but with the squad that he's putting together, the amount of draft capital and cap space that they have, I'm actually really excited for the direction that the Jaguars are heading, and really think that Urban Meyer is going to be able to kind of turn this ship around for the Jaguars, kind of like how Harbaugh was able to do for the 49ers. I don't know if Urban Meyer is going to have that long-term success, but I do think that within these first couple of years that the Jaguars are going to be not a great team, but definitely more competitive than they have been in the past couple of seasons. And even when they made the AFC Championship, be more of a well-rounded team than just a team that's carried by one side of the ball. So I'm going to put Urban Meyer and the Jags at number one.
All right, my number two, I'm going to go with my homeboys. I really like the Arthur Smith hire for the Falcons. The more I like read into and look into it, after the Dan Quinn era, like it was, and Mike Smith, honestly, we haven't really had an offensive mind head coach for a while. And you get kind of an under the radar Arthur Smith kind of guy, like where not a lot of teams. It's not a flashy pick, maybe not a big headline like name, but you've seen what he's done in Tennessee. It's truly remarkable. Like making where it's Ryan Tannehill is a top 10 quarterback in the league and playing at a top five level, honestly. And their red zone numbers are off the charts where they score, and their offense is just this top five offense. And I for the past ever since Shanahan left, it's like the Falcons' fault, besides like the defense giving up 40 points some games, is that the red zone numbers are not good, and they don't score in the red zone, and they have trouble running in the red zone. And I think if you get a guy here who is able to make Tannehill relevant again, maybe he can figure out a way for where Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, even though they're getting older in age, if his scheme and he can get it around, he can make them relevant once again. And I think that's why I love that hire too, because I'm not ready just to get rid of those two guys just yet. I still think there's
Ye-
football with them.
I completely love the point that you brought up with that red zone running, because that was the thing that separated the Falcons when they made the Super Bowl compared to years later, is that Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman were just monsters. I mean, all over the field, but especially in the red zone. Because, okay, if you want to go and bracket Julio and all that jazz, and don't want to stack the box, we're going to run it on you. And if you want to stack the box and create space for the other guys, there was a whole lot of space for their playmakers, guys like Julio Jones and all them, to to score in the red zone. And once Shanahan left and pieces started to fall apart a little bit, you saw Julio's red zone numbers went down, the running game's red zone numbers were all down, and then on the other side of the ball, they started struggling to stop teams in the red zone and were giving up a lot of free touchdowns. So you're right. So for me, I'm actually going to kind of group my number 2 and number 3 into just kind of like a number 2, and
Hmm.
that's, like you said, Arthur Smith with the Falcons and Brandon Staley with the Chargers, because I think that this is a hire for both teams that are directly solving major issues that they've had the past couple seasons. We kind of mentioned the whole lack of a running attack in general, and quarterback play starting to fall off, and that's kind of how the Falcons addressed it with Arthur Smith. But let's go to the Chargers with Brandon Staley. This is a team that has just blown a lot of games, games that they were leading and playing well, and you get a guy that under Sean McVay was an integral part of the reason why Sean McVay has never lost a game that he is leading at halftime. He has been able to rely on Brandon Stanley and that defense. And this year, he has developed a lot of guys with not a whole lot of draft capital to work with, guys, developing players that they had taken in previous years. This is a whole list of things that if you go back and watch the Chargers, what are the problems with the Chargers video that we had, I feel like Brandon Staley really addresses a lot of these issues.
Hmm.
Not developing the back end of your roster, playing stupid and not adjusting to your opponents in the second half. Always having the defensive pieces, but not really able to fully put it together for an entire season. I really feel like Brandon Staley might be able to do all of this and really turn this Chargers team from a pretender into a contender.
Yeah, he was my third on the list too, pretty much for the same reasons. I feel like when the Chargers vacancy came open, it was kind of like I thought they would head more towards an offensive mind, to like because Herbert looks like he's the real deal, and maybe just try to get that like connection for years to come. But actually, I think I like this move a lot too, because yeah, like he can figure out the defensive side of the ball and just worry about I don't have to worry about offense. I'll get like the OC that fits Herbert the best, and he can take it over from there. Let me worry about the defensive side of the ball and game managing, and just because I mean this is a young guy too, only 38. I think this is a very smart move for the Chargers, and they're looking good moving on.
All right, so my number 4 is Sala with the Jets. Kind of like for a lot of the reasons you said, Adam Gase is a guy that clearly was not able to really grasp and develop the locker room, and he kind of failed at the job that he was hired to do, and that was to develop Sam Darnold into a top tier quarterback. Well, with Robert Sala, with the Jets, you need to build an organization. You need to rebuild a culture. And I mean, I don't have Salah ranked very high just because this is a tough ask for him. And I'm not sure how he is going to be, leading the whole group and also bringing in talent. Because I know for the 49ers, Shanahan and their GM, oh, I can't think of the GM's name, but that tandem was just so good, and Salah had that as a backbone. Now Salah has to create that and more for New York, so I'm a little bit more skeptical, but I am excited that he could be a guy that the troops can really rally behind. And Bill Walsh
Mhm.
always, I read a whole lot of Bill Walsh books, and he says that to be a football coach, they have to see you in the front. He got that from General George S. Patton, and he said that, the troops have to see you in the front of the army. You have to be the commander, and if you're not in the front, you're never going to have the respect of the guys. And that's what Robert Sala's mantra is. He's the kind of guy, he's in the front of the army, right? He's leading the troops. He's like the first one into battle. And I really like that for this Jets team that really needs an identity. So even though he's at my number 4 spot, kind of because of the whole, how is the him and Joe Douglas going to work? But in terms of getting the atmosphere and his guys to play for him, I am really excited for him. So yeah, I only have him at 4, but I can see why, like, you had him at number 1.
Yeah, one more thing on Salah that's just a pro. I mean, that 49ers defense was hit with injuries all year. And, you know, to make it where like they were competitive and win some games where they probably shouldn't have won and the way that defense did rally around them, I think that's also a pro with him doing a lot with less, So maybe that's a good trend for the Jets that don't have a lot. Uh, at 4, this is your one. This is kind of crazy. So your one, my one was your 4, and your one's my 4. I got Urban Meyer. Now, listen, I think like the Urban Meyer hire, it's a sexy hire. It's a big name hire, right? Like a lot of people are going to say they like this hire, and I like Urban Meyer too. He's been a great college football coach throughout his career. But so far to this date, that's all he's been. He never played in the NFL. He's never coached in the NFL. And even though that's not like a knock, because it's still, but like the college football scene is different than the NFL scene. And I'm not saying that's a huge knock on him. But one more con I have for him, and the reason why, like, I don't trust the hire, it's not because of his game plan. It's just, his tenure everywhere he goes, it just seems like, he'll just hang it up out of nowhere, said he's done with his career because of his heart problem or health issues. And then he's back, and then he says he's going to hang it up. So, how long does Urban Meyer last for the Jags? For a guy that's about to have Trevor Lawrence, who's going to be a 20-year guy, supposed to be. I mean, how long is Urban going to be there? 5, 3 years, 2? Like, what's his health
No,
situation? So
I
that,
completely agree though with what you're saying. Yeah, my whole thing with Urban Meyer is I think he's going to be able to turn around quickly. I completely agree with you in that. I don't know how long he's going to last. I could easily see him being a Jim Harbaugh where you have that 2 3 years of success. It starts getting a little rocky and then he dips. I could completely see that, and I share that same concern.
yeah, but like for good pros for Urban is that, he succeeded wherever he's gone. He's won 2 natties with 2 different college football teams. He seems like he's a locker room kind of guy, and he's always been able to get some of the best recruits. Now, granted, he's played at elite programs, but I for the Jaguars to be in the paper, they're going to be talked about a lot in the offseason. Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer, those are 2 huge names that will be in the media. So if they want like their name getting out there and to be recognized, like, yeah, they did a great job at that. So, I mean, I still like the hire. I mean, great coach, but it's just a little down below because I don't know if I fully believe in them.
Yeah, I was skeptical at first, but it's just the whole, the guys he's bringing. I really feel like this is going to be a team, right? That's the sense I'm getting from the Jaguars with Urban Meyer is that it's not going to be just about Urban Meyer. This is a guy that has been able to build programs before, and there are teams still using the legacy that he created in college football to like carry on their success. I just feel like if I can get that, because that is what the Jaguars have lacked. They tried to bring in Tom Coughlin to create that, and it completely backfired. It destroyed the team. All the talent ran away from the
Mhm.
Jaguars. Now I'm finally getting that sense that talent isn't running away. Talent is starting to go to Jacksonville. So that's why I really liked Urban Meyer, is that I may like some of the other coaches more than Urban Meyer, but in terms of what the Jaguars need, it's just such a fit, I feel like. But now I guess we both have the same guy at number 5. We have PC principal
Yeah.
Dan Campbell. I'm going to pull it up on the screen now for you guys watching on YouTube. This is from South Park, PC principal. He looks just like Dan Campbell. It
Oh
is
yeah.
hilarious. It is
PC coach.
absolutely hilarious. PC principal Dan Campbell going to the Lions, the place that no one wants to go. I'll let you start it off, Steve. What are you thinking about PC principal Dan Campbell to the Lions?
Well, I mean, like, thing about Dan Campbell is the only thing I knew about him when they hired him that he looked like PC principal. I didn't even know what team he was coaching for, so I just figured out he's the assistant head coach for the Saints. So I mean, that's not great. But I just feel like the Lions. You have never been able to figure out, like, is this your guy? Like, is this the best option? Out of any guy you interview, like maybe you don't want to pull the strings like Urban Meyer and those other big names like Saleh because you are the Detroit Lions and you got to play in Detroit. But you're telling me you couldn't get someone a little bit better and interesting than PC Principal over here? I mean, upon like scheme, I know like he was interim head coach for the Dolphins back in like 2011. I think he went like I got him going 5-7 here. So I mean, kind of like where the Lions would be, around that time of the season. Hovering around. Or the Lions going to figure it out, then end up going 6-10. So if they're just trying to fit the mold of the Lions, they're consistent. So I don't know anything good things to say about him, honestly. That he's ripped.
Yeah, he's
I want,
ripped. He's going to build a PC culture. You're not going to
yeah.
hear any derogatory word, anything from the Lions anymore. They are going to be the most progressive team in the NFL. Um, yeah, but on a serious note, like you, I don't really know about him. I didn't know who he was until he was hired by the Lions. He's the assistant head coach, like you said, and tight ends coach. If there's any winner here, it might be TJ Hawkinson. You get a
Yeah.
real tight end guy on the team. He's going to be the forefront of that offense. And he may have to be, because if Stafford leaves and Galladay leaves, he might be the only player they have left. So, Dan Campbell, if you can turn this Lions team around, hats off to you, because I don't think any coach fits the Lions. I feel like this
Yeah.
team is just I am treating the Lions as I need to see it to believe it. I don't care how promising or grim the Lions are looking. I need to see it to believe it. They're always going to be that 5 to 7 win team until they prove otherwise. Yeah, they'll have a couple 8 win, 9 win seasons here and there, but they're always going to be like the NFC versions of the Texans, but instead of making the playoffs and getting bounced every year, it's like they're always like, here we go, Lions, we can do it this year. And they're hanging around that mediocre range. So,
I
like,
mean,
I
what
just think,
like a good thing about Dan Campbell, it's like a Madden when you choose a coach, strategist, team builder, motivator, or whatever. I mean, he follows under the motivating. If he gets the right hires, I'm pretty sure uh, he's going to get Aaron Glenn to be his defensive coordinator. For people that don't know him, he was the defensive back for the Saints. Defensive back coach for the Saints. And Saints secondary is pretty damn good. And for a Lions team that has a shitty secondary, I think that's something to get excited about. Um,
yeah, that's big, because he's a coach that led the best shit talkers in the NFL. That's what the Lions need. The Lions,
yeah, just
they need to
come.
stop playing by the rules. They need to be the bad boys. They need to
Yeah.
have like that 85 Bears mentality. Like, listen, we're the Lions. We're from Detroit. We're going to show up and punch you in the mouth, because that's who we are. We are the Lions. We're gonna
Yeah,
shit
dude.
talk all day. That's exactly what the line. Honestly, I'm liking this a lot more. You got PC Principal out there. He's freaking jacked. He'll fight you too. He'll be the first one to punch you in the mouth. So let's go
Yeah, I kind
Lions.
of like that. I kind of like it now. I might have to move him up in my rankings when it's all said and done.
All right. Real quick. So that's our head coaching rankings of the hirings. Nothing incredibly serious. Just kind of talking about what guys we like, how we think they're going to fit. I really do like that Brandon Staley hire for the Chargers, though. I really like that one in particular. But let's talk about some other quick news in the NFL. The combine, rip the combine. The combine is not going to be held as it usually is. They're saying there's going to be like a virtual combine. I don't know how the hell a virtual combine works. What is everyone going to go to like their local football field and like time themselves or something? Uh,
I guess so.
Supposedly it's just going to be pro days, I think, because all the teams have already been practicing and playing together. It's like, all right, well, we might as well just have a bunch of pro days then. And this isn't a loss for the NFL. This isn't as much of a loss for the prospects. This is a loss for the fans. It's a
Yeah,
loss for guys like me and you because I don't know about any of you, but I love the combine. The combine, there is nothing better than overhyping these players while they're doing workouts. Like, oh, dude, did you see this guy? He ran like a 4.43. Oh my God, no way. This guy jumped 38 inches. Holy crap, he's insane. There is just nothing better than just reading and reacting to combine hype. It is like one of the peaks of draft season and now it's all down the drain.
yeah. On top of that, too, like gambling on the combine's fun. Like Justin Fields, I feel like would have been slotted around like a 4.7 on the 40 over under. And like I would have like taken the under and you hit like 4.67. You're just like sitting there like, yeah. Also, another big loss for the combine is the host that worked for NFL Network that runs the 40 every year for charity. What's his name?
Rich Eisen.
Eisen? Yeah, Rich Eisen. Won't have it this year. Sucks.
Yeah. I also
Watching
love
him
how
run his
like
5.5.
I love how the combine is basically like a golf event where you have the guys that are like and now this is Justin Fields getting ready for the 40. Yeah, this is a guy that he threw for 4,080 yards last year. He really had a great dude, I don't know, there's just something about it
Yeah,
that's
it's
just
true.
awesome.
It's calming. It is very calming. It's like a little ASMR for
Yeah,
football.
dude, we're not going to be able to find the next Teron Johnson get nailed in the face with a football 2 years later, running back pick sixes to go to the conference championship.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess on a more serious note too, I love using the combine for defensive backs because getting all 22 film of college football is literally harder than finding a diamond. Like it's just brutal. So actually being able to see the defensive backs work out and see, just how they run and how fluid their hips are and whatnot, like it is kind of valuable to an armchair scout like yours
Hmm.
truly right here. So losing that is going to be annoying. But yeah, just RIP the combine, RIP the combine betting. Um, Dude, that one guy that we were talking about that you brought up, who had a chance to break the vertical record, the
Yeah.
vertical jump
Not
record,
going to happen.
he got screwed out of a. I think he was gonna get it. I thought he was gonna get it. I forget
Yeah,
his
I think
name.
he's gonna get it too. I mean, he's got a better vertical than
What
LeBron
is his
James.
name? Ibator Bebe or something like.
Ah, dude, I don't.
It was something like
His name.
Ibrahim Behibator Bebe.
Yeah,
So
he went to like Illinois or something like that. He's just crazy, crazy last name. It's like
yeah, for
I think
those
it's
who
like
don't know, we did a segment. It was like unwatched and underrated or something. We just kind of brought up a couple guys that we had on our radar that we didn't watch a ton of and we didn't think many other people watched. Steed brought up this guy that jumped like a 48.5-inch vertical in high school, which the combine record is like 47 point something inches. So this guy
yeah,
would have had a legit shot to break the record.
we would have saw history.
So rip the combine betting, run Rich Eisen. Um, Ah, man, it's
We
just
lost a lot. We lost
yeah.
a
We
lot.
we lost we lost a true friend, a dear pal. I don't even know what to call this last segment. NFL draft tier list. All right, so let's move on into the last segment of the episode. We're trying something a little new here. All right, we're getting a little frisky here on the 3rd and 20 podcast. How do I set this up? Bang time. So what we are going to be doing is we are going to where is it? Bang. Oh geez. Okay, there we go. We are going to be doing a tier list on the best drafting NFL teams. We said like since 2005, right, Steed? Like somewhere around there?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So we are going to be doing a tier list for all the best drafting teams. So for those who don't know, S is the best, all the way down to D, which is the worst. We're going to try and like place them in an order. So we'll just get started here. Not much else needs to be said. The Seahawks. For me, Steed, Seahawks are S tier, right? They have to be with the success
Yep.
that they've had.
Same for me. Easily. I mean, you get players like Russell Wilson, um, legacy of Boom. You know, like all those
The
players.
legacy, the Legion of Boom.
The Legion of Boom. Sorry. I mean, dude, I still give Dan Quinn all the credit for those players.
Yeah, just looking at
um,
their draft classes, dude. It's recently I can understand that it's been a little bit shaky. Their past couple. I mean, and saying a little bit of shaky. They picked up DK Metcalf in 2019.
late round pick and Chris Carson too. I think he's
Yeah,
a fifth
Chris
or sixth round
Carson
pick.
was 2017. So yeah, not all their first round picks. They picked Trey Flowers in the 5th round of 2018. I know you're not a huge Trey
He
Flowers guy,
sucks.
but dude, as a 5th round pick, that's a good pick for the 5th round. And then obviously,
Tom
like,
Brady's a good pick.
dude, you pick up Bobby Wagner and Russell Wilson back to back in 2012, round 2 and 3. That is insane. Like,
Yeah, you
there's
just
so
get
many good
automatically
picks.
2 Hall of Famers and just 2 picks. It's crazy.
Like they honestly might as well just trade their first rounders for like 3rd to 5th rounders. They're insane. Richard Sherman the 5th, 2011. I mean, Earl Thomas in the 1st round, pick 14 in 2010 is a great pick. Golden Tate in the 2nd. Cam Chancellor
Cam
in the 5th.
Chancellor.
Like, dude,
Yeah.
holy crap. The amount of drafts. I'm not sure there's going to be a team on this list that beats the Seahawks. Brandon Meebane, 3rd round in 2007. Lofa Tatupu in the 2nd round of 2005. It's just like it feels like every single draft there's some sort of value pick that the Seahawks had. There's only like they really haven't had a draft where they have useless players throughout, other than 2013, I guess. 2013 they had
Yeah,
a
and
pretty crap draft, but other than that, it's
it
unreal.
plays a big part in them making the playoffs every year. Yeah.
All right, so let's go into the Miami Dolphins. Where do you have the Miami Dolphins? I'm interested.
Dude, they were kind of crappy for a while. Like it seems like they're getting on the trend. Like maybe for the 2020 and beyond, they could be in that S tier. I think I'd put them in the C tier, the like 4th tier. You know,
To be honest, I think you're being a little generous. I had him as
you put them
a
in the
D
D.
tier. I'll put him in there for now.
They're
If you
so
can
bad.
convince me to put him in C tier, I'll put him in C tier. Dude, I look at these drafts, dude. 2005, you pick up Ronnie Brown at the 2nd overall pick. Like, he was a good player. Don't get me wrong. He put up over 5,000 yards rushing, but
Yeah,
like,
true.
2nd overall pick. Did he
Laramie
really
Tunsil.
live up to 2nd overall pick hype? I'm going to argue not really. I mean, he was good. Like, he had some great seasons. Don't get me wrong. Like, he went to a Pro Bowl, but for the 2nd overall, like if you were to grade all the other 2nd overall picks, I feel like he's nowhere near the top.
No.
Like you just look at all these drafts. 2006, garbage draft, just no one relevant. 2007, like the good players. Ted Ginn Jr. at pick 9.
He had a
Eh,
good career.
like he was all right. He's still relevant, but he was never. He didn't make a single Pro Bowl or have a single All Pro. Paul Solia,
Yeah.
I'll give him credit in the fourth round is a good pick. He had a good career. Um, Samson Satili, all right. Jake Long in 2008, pick one. Okay, pretty good. Still not, you're ranking pick ones of all time. Jake Long is not near the top. Vontae Davis had a good career at pick 25 in 2009, but not for you guys. He had a good career for the Colts.
Yeah.
And same thing. Ryan Tannehill playing really well for the Titans. It just
Yeah, I mean,
seems
it's
like
true, dude. Yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah, they're D. You changed my mind. I was like, maybe they're friend C, but yeah, dude, they've been horrible.
I mean, I'll give you credit. Recently, I think they've had some better picks. Jarvis Landry in 2014. I know he's not on the Dolphins, but he gave you some really good years on the Dolphins. Um, I mean, Devontae Parker, I guess. Jay
Him
Ajayi was
likely,
a
yeah.
good pick in the fifth round.
Yeah.
2015, you had a good draft. Bobby McCain and Jay Ajayi in the fifth. Devontae Parker in the first. Jordan Phillips in the second. But half of these guys aren't playing for you anymore. More than half. 2016, good draft. Laramie Tunsil, Xavier Howard, Kenyon Drake, back to back to back. You pick up Jakeem Grant as well as a sixth round kind of a guy, but these guys, Laramie Tunsil's not your team. Kenyon Drake's not your team. Xavier Howard's a beast. I love Xavier Howard. That's probably
Yeah.
been their
Yeah.
best draft pick this entire time. But Minka Fitzpatrick, great player, all pro, not
Not
your
the
team.
team.
Mike Gesicki is a good player. I don't know, and in the recent drafts, it's just too little years to really tell.
Hmm.
I mean, for all we know, last year, Tua, there's been some up and down with that. Austin Jackson, I think, is all right. Noah Igbenogany's been kind of meh. Robert Hunt's been good, and Raekwon Davis has been good. I'll give him that. So their last year's draft is looking all right. Christian Wilkins looks like a pretty good player from 2019, but and Miles Gaskin seems to be a decent pickup in the seventh, but I don't think it's enough for me. They had this stretch from, I think it was 2013 to 2007 where they don't have a single relevant player really that played for them at least.
Yeah, just picked a pile of crap.
So if we're just talking about talent overall, maybe we can move them up to C tier. But in terms of everything, you draft a
Yeah.
player and how much success they had for you, I think it's easily D tier. Jacksonville Jaguars. This is another example of they had a stretch of really good picks, but all these players
Yeah,
don't
first one
play
comes to
for you
mind.
anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I'd still put them in the D. Like Jalen Ramsey was a good pick. Like Bortles did get you to a AFC Championship, and I mean, he was out the next year. Jalen Ramsey's not there anymore.
But the thing,
Calais Campbell,
if we're doing it since 2005, we got to remember Maurice Jones-Drew and Mercedes
Maurice
Lewis in
Jones-Drew was good.
2006, great picks. Those are two really good picks. Khalif Barnes in 2005 in the second round as a tackle was pretty good. Gerald Sensabaugh as a D-back is all right. Serviceable player for a fifth round pick. That's a good pick. Let's
Mhm.
Reggie Nelson in the first. He went to 2 Pro Bowls, pretty decent. Let's see, dude. Oh, geez, 2008 is garbage. 2009 is pretty garbage. Um, 2010 Tyson Alualu is good, but he was a bust until he went to Pittsburgh, basically. 2011 is garbage. You pick up Blaine Gabbert. 2012 was also pretty garbage.
Oh,
Like
yes, yes.
you pick up Justin Blackman, who's a great player, but he couldn't stay on the field, so it's a bad pick. Um, Pick two,
That was
like
one
2013, another
awesome.
garbage draft. You pick up Luke Jokel at pick two. 2014's decent, but you pick Blake Bortles. There's so many first round misses for this team. It's terrible. I think you're right. They just have to be D tier. I could understand with the recent draft success
It's
because
just not enough.
if you look at what draft is it? There's a draft they had that was ridiculous. Oh yeah, here it is. 2016. Jalen Ramsey, Miles Jack, Yannick Ngakwe, back to back to back is ridiculous because of that, you can
Yeah, that's
argue that they
solid.
are at the bottom of C tier. And like, they pick up DJ Chark recently. Josh Allen looks all right. Gardner Minshew's a good sixth round pick. They had a bunch of draft picks this year that may pan out. Guys like CJ Henderson, Chison, Chenault, um, even Colin Johnson has had some decent plays here and there. But it's like, I think you're right. I don't know, because MJD in 2006 is really good. Nah, they're D tier. We'll put them above the Dolphins, but they're still D tier. They're close to C tier though.
Yeah.
All right, man, we are really going through the bottom of the barrel here. How about the Lions? What do you have the Lions at?
Dude, I feel like they're a fringe team too, but I think like they had enough to make it into that little seed here, like let's see. So it's like '05, right? I mean,
Calvin
they
Johnson,
got Calvin
unbelievable
Johnson in
pick.
'07,
Matt
and
Stafford's
then
been a good pick.
Stafford in '08. They had Gronk's brother in the seventh row. Ndamukong in
Ndamukong Suh.
2010. Nick Fairley, like he was played
Ah,
a
he's a
decent
bust.
bit
Right. The
team,
thing
but
is, I will give the Lions credit is that they've at least hit on a decent amount of their first round picks. They tend to for some reason release them. And they you'll at least get a little bit of service out of them. And the other problem is they really
Darius
just don't
Slay.
have many late round gems. Like Quandre Diggs is a great late round gem for the Seahawks right now. Like,
I have 2013 Theo Riddick in the sixth round. That's not terrible.
I mean, 2016 you have Ashawn Robinson, another guy he's nothing crazy, but he's a good football player for the Rams. I'll put the Lions in C tier, probably the bottom of C tier, just because I feel like they've had similar draft success to these other teams. But if you look at some of their top tier players, Calvin Johnson, Hall of Famer. Matt Stafford, while he may not be a Hall of Famer, really, really good quarterback. Darius Slay in the second round is a good pick. Kyle Van
Yeah.
Noy, second round, good pick. Quandre Diggs in the sixth, good pick.
And
Sean
recently,
Robinson the
like
second.
Kenny Galladay in the third in 2017.
Frank
Great
Ragnow
pick.
is a good first round pick, it
Yeah.
looks like. TJ Hawkinson, a good first round pick. Yeah, I think you're right. Like, they haven't had the later round success. Like, you look at the Seahawks, right? That's why they're S tier. They half their sick players are just later round guys, but at least
Eric
first
Ebron.
round. Yeah, but even Eric Ebron, like, yes, he was a bust, but it's not like he's out of the NFL level bust, right? And then you look at
Nevin
this
Lawson.
year, DeAndre Swift, Okuda, Okwara, decent. You pick up Quintez Cephas in the fifth, who might be all right. Like, I don't know. Like, I'll put him at the bottom C tier. All right, let's go with the Texans. Oh, geez. The Texans. I honestly have no idea where to put the Texans.
Yeah, dude, we are really getting into the bad teams.
Let's see. 2005. Their 2005 draft class was dog shit. 2006, you pick up Mario Williams, pick one. Pretty good pick. You pick up Eric Winston in the third round. It's a good pick. Owen Daniels. D'Amico Ryans is a linebacker. These are all serviceable players. 2007, pretty dog shit. Jacoby Jones in the third, all right. Duane Brown in 2008 is a first round pick. 26 is really good. He's still playing for him, I'm pretty sure. Brian Cushing and Connor Barwin in 2009 is pretty decent, serviceable players. Glover Quinn in the fourth is a good pick. Kareem Jackson. Like, okay, J.J. Watt in 2011 is sick with Brooks Reed in the second, too.
Yeah,
Whitney Merce. To be honest, they've had a lot more draft success than I would have thought.
Brandon
DJ
Brooks,
Swearinger
Ben
and DeAndre
Jones.
Hopkins in 2013. Jadeveon Clowney in 2014. Yeah, he was pick one, but he's still a good player. He's not a complete bust. Bernard McKinney, 2015. Will Fuller, 2016, with Nick Martin and DJ Reader in the fifth. Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Dude, like, I think that the Texans, I'll slot them in B tier. They could be
Yeah,
A tier though, to be honest. With
they've had a lot of good picks.
they've had a lot of good picks. I think that their management has been bad. You
It's
you
just been
traded D
terrible.
Hop for nothing. But in terms of picking players, man, like there have been a lot of really good picks for this team. You know what? You think they should be A tier?
You see, like if we're just doing it based off drafts, like you could put them like that friends. It's just that they never had truly too much team success.
Yeah, but they may have drafted two Hall of
Oh
Famers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I yeah,
I'm
put
putting
them
them in
in.
A
Put
tier
them in. Put them in.
because
They're
let's
easily.
just assume for now that DeAndre Hopkins ends up becoming a Hall of Famer. I mean, I don't think he's a shoe in, but the guy's got 3 first team All Pros. Like, it's not like
Mhm.
Diop isn't an unreal player. The guy's got 10,000 yards. Like, and then JJ Watt has been one of the most dominant defensive players we've ever seen in his prime. Like, I'll put him A tier. Indianapolis Colts. What are we thinking
Let's
about the
take a
Colts
look at
here?
them. Trying to get them to go all the way back
So since we're doing
2005.
since 2005, we don't get Peyton Manning, but we do get Andrew Luck. Now it's not like Andrew Luck was he's a first overall pick. It's not like it's anything crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so 2005 pretty dog shit. 2006 is a good draft. Antoine Bethea in the 6th round, Joseph Adai, Tim Jennings, Charlie Johnson, like pretty damn good draft. 2007 pretty dog shit. 2008, you pick up Pierre Garcon in the 6th. That's a good pick. Nothing really crazy there. 2009, pretty dog shit. 2010, Jerry Hughes. That's a good pick. 2011, Anthony Costanzo. 2012 is a great draft.
Okay.
T.Y. Hilton and Andrew Luck.
Yeah, that's nice.
2013 might be one of the worst drafts I've ever seen.
Oh man, that is rough. Justice
2014, pretty
Cunningham.
crap. Man, the Colts are a lot worse than I thought. I mean, recently, I think they've had some good drafts.
Mm-hmm.
You look like 2018, Quentin Nelson, Darius Leonard back to back. You pick up Naheem Hines. Um, really solid players. 2019, I really like Rocket Sin. Bobby Okereke has been very solid for them. And then this year, Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman were solid contributors. I think recently it's been good. I think I may have
It's
to put
just
him
like
C tier.
overall. Yeah, I do that.
Maybe even D tier, dude. This is rough. Like, dude,
They're
this
lucky they
stretch.
had Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck all those years to make them relevant. Plus,
Yeah,
like
for
a few
real.
Aegis Allings.
See, that's part of the problem is that if you go back before 2005, they would be much better. Like if you look
Mm-hmm.
at their drafts like 1998 to 2004, it's sick. They drafted multiple Hall of Famers. But our cutoff was 2005. And since 2005, it's been pretty crap. Not going to lie. It's been
Yeah,
pretty
it's not been
crap.
good.
So are they
It's
bottom
gotten
C
better
tier or D
recently.
tier?
Dude, I kind of
I'm putting them D tier, dude. I'm putting them.
they're just it's just hasn't been it.
Are they above or below the Dolphins?
And they got to be above the Dolphins now,
All right.
I would think.
We're
Just
being a
based
little
off
harsh on
talent.
them, but like, I'm not going to give you too much credit for drafting Andrew Luck at 1. That's not a crazy pick.
Yeah, just like Trevor Lawrence coming out of this year, we all knew he was going number one. I mean,
All right, let's go with the Chargers. What do we think with the Chargers here? Draft
let's take a
success. So you pick up Merriman, Vincent Jackson, Louis Castillo, Darren Sproles in 2005. That is a holy crap. They've had some great drafts. Then 2006, Antonio Cromartie, Marcus McNeil. Like, dude, holy crap. Eric Weddle, 2007 in the 2nd.
mm-hmm.
2008, pretty crap. 2009, Louis Vasquez, pretty damn good guard. I mean, he made an All Pro and a Pro Bowl, 7 years in the league. Cam Thomas, 20 in the 2010 draft in the fifth
In
round.
2010.
I mean, that 2010 draft is crap. I mean, Ryan Matthews, like, Ryan Matthews has to be a bust at pick 12, right? I was
Yeah,
confusing Cam
easily.
Thomas with someone else. I don't know why. Corey Luge at 2011. Marcus Gilchrist. Melvin Ingram is a great pick in 2012. 2013, you pick up Keenan Allen in the third. Jason Verrett, while he has kind of been a bust for the Chargers, really turned it on this year for the 49ers. Melvin Gordon, Denzel
Melvin
Perryman,
Gordon,
2015. Joey Bosa, great pick. I mean, it's pick 3, but still. Hunter Henry as well.
Derek Watt.
2017, nothing crazy. Desmond King's a good pick. Just a solid draft in 2017. Nothing. And then, Derwin James, I think, is a great pick, we can all say. Just hasn't really been on the field. Kaiser White, I'm pretty sure they've gotten some decent usage out of. And then you got the recent class and Herbert too. This Chargers team, I think I'm going to put them A tier. I think they even may be above the Texans. You could make an argument they're low S tier. This is some nasty drafts.
And they had some good teams too.
So what are you thinking?
Yeah,
Top of A tier, low S tier?
I think we got to put them top of A tier.
All right, we'll put them top of A tier. What about the Chiefs?
I think the Chiefs are easily an S, right?
Let me see what they did around in the older age. Because, yeah, you're right. Like, recently, they've just been destroying the draft. I mean,
Like,
you
I
take
feel like
Patrick
Patrick
Mahomes, you
Mahomes
kind of
just
win. Like,
I feel like that could just easily just carry him to S tier because you do anything with Patrick Mahomes.
Derek Johnson in pick 15, 2005 is a great pick. Tom Bahali, Bernard Pollard, Dwayne Bowe, Brandon Flowers, Jamal Charles in the third was disgusting. Brandon Carr in the fifth. Eric Berry, great pick. Yeah, they're looking pretty S tier to me. They really don't have a ton of missed drafts.
Like Dontari Poe in the
Yeah,
first
they're S
round, like
tier.
he's been
They're S tier. That's easy S
Kelsey in
tier.
in the third round. Like, are you kidding me? D Ford. I mean, D Ford just been a
Tyreek Hill
great
in the
player.
fifth. I think we may even put him above. I don't. Who do we have? The Seahawks or the Chiefs at 1?
Dude, that's tough because, oh man, I think I would put the Chiefs above the Seahawks.
All right, I'll do it.
Honestly.
Just because I think the Seahawks are definitely being carried by like that Super Bowl run of drafting, but I will give the slight edge to the Chiefs because of recency bias.
Yeah.
I'll give them a slight edge. What about the Giants? What are you thinking about the Giants?
Let's check the Giants out. The New York
Okay, so
Giants.
Justin Tuck in the third round and Brandon Jacobs in the fourth. Corey Webster. So 2005, good draft. 2006, Matthias Kiwanuka and Barry Cofield. All right, all right. I mean, 2007 would have been pretty crap, but you pick up Ahmad Bradshaw in the seventh round, which kind of saves the draft a little bit. Steve Smith, he had a couple decent years. He made a Pro Bowl, which is very surprising, but he kind of fell off a cliff. 2008, pretty crap. 2009, Akeem Hicks was all right. Will Beatty, all right.
Will Beatty played decent.
2010, though, was sick. Linval Joseph and Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yeah, that's a nice.
Prince Amukamara was Justin Pugh and Jonathan Hankins. Odell was a good pick. Weston Richburg is all right. Devin Kennard, Eric Flowers was so bad for them. Landon Collins is good though. This is like average, I'd say.
Yeah, I think I mean, Evan Ingram, like lately.
I think that, yeah, you've had some good players. I think for the most part, it's been pretty average. They didn't have a ton of, bad draft classes. They had a couple, but it's not like they had any insane ones either. They had a couple like pretty high end ones, but nothing insane. I think we can
Hmm.
slot them like decent middle of the park. What about the
Yeah.
Eagles? Eagles are a team. It's like, okay, early on in from 2005 to probably like 2013, 2014 is probably going to be pretty sick. But I mean, lately we're basically an Eagles podcast, so we kind of know what's been happening with them lately.
Yeah, true. We know their drafts haven't been good lately, but
Dude,
let's
Trent
take a look.
Cole in the fifth round of 2005 is nice. 2006 is kind of just meh. 2007 is pretty crap.
Kevin Kolb.
Yeah, Kevin Cobb. You took Brent Selleck in the fifth. That's a good pick. Deshaun
That
Jackson in the second is
Djax.
great.
Yeah,
And King Dunlap in the seventh is a nice pickup.
it's
Dude,
a good
Macklin
steal.
and Shady in 2009, that's a great pickup for your skill players. Brandon Graham. I mean, I feel like Brandon Graham is for the most part lived up to the 13th pick. I think you'd
Yeah,
have
yeah,
some
he's
guys
had a
that
good
might
career.
say he's a little here and there. Jason Kelsey in the sixth is insane.
Yeah, that's
Fletcher
unfair.
Cox, great first round pick. I mean, Nick Foles in the third,
Won
pretty
you a
good.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, Michael Kendricks and Vinnie Curry, two serviceable players. Lane Johnson at pick
Johnson,
4 is
Zach
really nice.
Ertz.
Zach Ertz. 2014 was really shit.
That's rough right there.
20, yeah, I mean, we kind of just know the story from like 2014 on. The only really good picks you've had have been Carson Wentz and Miles Sanders since. So I feel like if they were to continue their success from early on, we could definitely put them A tier. I feel like they're low B tier though. You could argue they're high B. I just feel like recently kills it, dude. You have a 6 year stretch of like two good players.
Yeah, they've been struggling. I think they're B tier.
But I'm not going to deny the fact that like guys like Jason Kelsey, who could easily be a Hall of Famer in the sixth round, Fletcher Cox, Lane Johnson, like I understand, Fletcher Cox and Lane Johnson, they were first round picks and pretty high picks at that, but they are so good. Like all pro level players that you have to give them credit. Even though they're high first round picks, they're still really talented all pro level players. Let's go with the Titans.
And yeah,
You have
this
anything
one of
else
the
you want to say
middle
on
teams.
the Eagles? Anything you want to put them above the Giants?
I think I'd throw them on top of the Giants, man. Like
All right, let's do it.
that
You
Jason
don't got to
Kelsey
convince me.
pick at six in the sixth round is just dirty.
All right, what about the Tennessee Titans? What are you thinking on them?
Let's take a look at them. Really trying to. I mean, Vince Young in 2006.
The thing is, though, is that like when Vince Young was good, it was him playing for the Titans. Though, to be fair, he's
Yeah,
still a
I
bust for
know.
pick 3, but he made Pro Bowls playing for the Titans. And in that 2006 draft class, dude, Cortland Finnegan as a seventh round pick is sick. Stephen Tulloch as a fourth round pick is great. Like, dude, 2007, Michael Griffin. 2005, oh, Pac Man Jones.
Oh man, I miss him.
I mean, he
I
was
dude,
kind of bad for the Titans, but he ended up turning it around. I mean, he was just like such a shithead.
dude. I mean, 2009 class is pretty good.
Michael Roos into that. What's going on in 2009? Kenny Britt the Tit.
Yeah, Kenny
Um,
Britt, Jared Cook, Jason McCourty,
Jason McCourty in the sixth is really nice. Yeah, you
and then
see
of course
J2K in
yeah,
2008.
2008 he was nasty.
Have they had a Jurl Casey in 2011 in the third round? Great pick. Have they had just a crap draft? Okay, 2013 is pretty shit. Um,
Oh, what
and I
you don't
guess
like Bleedy?
2015.
You don't Bleedy Way Wilson?
So 2015 is the Marcus Mariota draft. Marcus Mariota definitely a bust for the number 2 pick. Had
Hmm.
had some. He's not.
Won a playoff game though.
Garbage player. He's still in the NFL. Yeah, he won a play. He's just not the number 2 overall pick franchise quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, 2016 is a great class. You pick up Kevin Byard, Derrick Henry, and Jack Conklin. And then recently you've had some pretty good picks, like A.J. Brown in the second is looking like a great pick. Rashawn Evans, Harold Landry, 2018, 1 and 2 is pretty good. Like, for me, the Titans, I feel like they're low A tier. Maybe
I
even
like them
above the
there.
Texans.
I really, especially their talent lately, it's just
Do
been.
we have them above the Chargers?
No, I wouldn't put them above the Chargers.
I think
I
there's
don't
an
know.
argument though.
Yeah, there is. I think you could go either or.
So my
Um,
problem with the Titans compared to the Chargers is that if you look at the Titans' first round picks, they have whiffed on a ton of first round picks, but they save themselves with like later round picks kind of filling in, right?
yeah,
I think the Chargers is kind of the opposite. Like they mainly recently they've kind of like been hitting on their first round picks, but then the later round picks haven't been as good. So I'm going to put the Chargers above for now. I think the main X factor is that the Chargers drafted Herbert this past year, which recency bias or not, you look at the Titans, they've whiffed on every quarterback they've drafted
yeah.
since 2000. They've drafted 3 in the first round. They've whiffed on every single one. So I have to give it to the Chargers. Now we got the Bucks. I'm pretty sure the Bucks are going to be towards the very low end of the spectrum.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't done crap.
They literally had Tom Brady come in and save their franchise. And
But
they've drafted like very recently, the past handful of drafts, like 2019, 2020, 2018 have been good.
yeah,
But this is since 2005. And since 2005,
Cadillac
okay,
Williams.
yeah, 2005, pretty dog crap. 2006, yeah, David Joseph is all right. Like he's a pretty good player. I'll give him that. Not a bad pick. Um, 2007 is terrible. 2008, you pick up Aqib Talib, Jeremy Zuda. All right, Geno Hayes in the six is decent. Gave you some quality time. It's just like they are lacking those really top quality picks. A lot of them from
Yeah,
like 2005 until like what 2012 when they take Levante David. I mean, I guess Gerald McCoy in 2010.
yeah.
I mean,
Gerald
now he's
McCoy is
fallen
pretty
off a
good.
cliff.
Luke Stalker in the fourth round, 2011.
Like they've had some decent picks, especially recently. Is it too crap?
Mark Barron.
Is D tier too harsh, or are they C tier?
Dude, I think they're D tier.
You think so? The thing is
do
though is
I
that we put the Lions in C tier because they drafted some potential Hall of Famers. Mike Evans is probably, I guess not probably.
Mike
I don't
Evans is
know.
going to be a Hall. Mike Evans
He's
will be.
like their best receiver in franchise history, right?
Yeah, he's
And
going to be a
then
Hall of Famer.
you know, recently Tristan Wirfs is looking great. Antoine Winfield's looking great. Devin White
Devin
is a
White.
stud. Vita Vea, I really like. Like Chris Godwin in the third is a good pick. Like they have really upgraded their drafts recently to I think I want to put them low C tier
Yeah, we can.
because these players are still on their team. It's not like what we said for the Jaguars where they drafted good players but they're not on their team. Like a
Mm-mm.
lot of the players that they drafted that are good are on their team, but they are still crap. Like they have so many bad picks. Oh my, 2012 Mark Barron, Doug Martin back to back is rough. I mean, I guess Doug Martin was all right. I'm gonna put him low C tier. You know what? I'm even putting him above the Lions because I think they've had some better picks than the
I
Lions.
think that's fair.
The
Yeah,
Browns.
especially recently. Like, oh come on now. I think the Browns have like one really really good class, and we all know that's that 2018 class. And plus, Miles Garrett's been a good pick, but like I mean, that's recently though, and we know how bad they've been.
So
I
I
mean,
will try to convince you on the Browns right here. All right, because yeah, a lot of the Browns
dude, Joe
picks have been crap.
Thomas.
I think the big problem with the Browns is like the Titans in that they just missed on their first round picks and had dog crap coaches. Dude, just hear it out real quick. Hear it out. Braylon Edwards and Brodney Poole in 2005. Decent. All
Hmm.
right. It's all right. Braylon Edwards is pretty damn good. Made a Pro Bowl. DeQuell Jackson in the second round in 2006 with Cameron Wimbley. Hey, decent player. Joe Thomas in 2007. Hall of Fame left
Yeah,
tackle.
Hall
Six
of
All
Fame
Pros.
easily.
2008 is pretty crap. I guess Ataiba
Alex Mack.
Rubin, Alex Mack, great center, top center in his time. Joe Hayden, one of the top corners. Jabal Sheard in 2011. I'm just kind of going chronologically here. I mean, Mitchell Schwartz, second round of 2012. You missed on your first round picks in Whedon and Richardson.
And
That's
Richardson.
trash.
That's
That
terrible.
hurts. But at least you kind of saw Joel Batonio, 2014. I mean, Barkevis Mingo was definitely not worth the sixth overall pick, but I thought he had some decent time here and there. 2015, Danny Shelton isn't terrible. Duke Johnson is relevant. Cameron Irving, eh. 2016 is really trash. Joe Schobert's all right. But dude, to be completely honest, and then obviously you have the past couple classes. Jedrick Wills might be the best tackle in the class. Sion Takitaki, third round in 2019, has been very good this season. Baker Mayfield, Denzel Ward, Nick Chubb
Yeah.
in 2018 is unreal. And then Miles Garrett, Jabril Peppers, David Njoku's actually been pretty good this year. Um, Larry Ogunjobi's been serviceable. So like, dude, to be completely honest, I think the Browns are the top of C tier, which may shock a lot of people.
I mean, dude. I mean, Joe Thomas and Alex Mack. Those are just two that they absolutely hit on right there. Beast O line. And they, yeah, I think you have to. I mean, there's not much difference between the Bucks and the Lions
Dude,
than
you
the
can
Browns,
argue the
man.
Browns are bottom B tier. I'll keep them C tier for now just because they whiffed on a bunch of first round picks earlier on. Like Corey Coleman, Danny Shelton, Justin Gilbert, Johnny Manziel, Barkevis Mingo, Trent Richardson, Brandon Whedon, Phil Taylor. Like, oh my God, that stretch is brutal of missing on first round picks. All right, Steed, I'll let you do this one. What about the Falcons?
S tier, dude. Come on. Um, dude, the Falcons. Let's do a little in-depth dive with the Falcons because I think I would have them like towards that second tier. I mean, I think off the top of my head, you got two Hall of Famers, Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, right?
Whoa, you're saying Matt Ryan's a Hall of Famer?
Why isn't he? Why? Because the no Super Bowl?
Roddy White is pretty good. He made a bunch of Pro Bowls and All Pro.
Oh yeah,
2005, that's
Roddy
a good
White was.
pick. Justin Blalock in 2007 is decent for the second round. Matt Ryan, obviously, good pick. And Curtis Lofton in 2008. 2009 is
Harry
pretty
Douglas
crap.
had pretty decent role.
Julio will probably be a Hall of Famer. I'll give you
Um,
that.
I mean, dude, come on. We live in a day and age where we think Eli's a Hall of Famer and Matt Ryan's not
So
just
where are you
because
putting
his
him? Are you putting
stool
him
is
B
crap.
tier?
Yeah, I'd put him in B tier. Like, look, I mean, you really start. Yeah, did we have some shitty classes? Yeah, we did. Look at 2012. That class will go down as one of the worst classes of all time in Falcons history. But then
I'll
you
put
go
him above the
2013.
Giants.
2013. You look at Trufant, Robert Alford. I mean, played huge roles in that Super Bowl run, even though Trufant was hurt. But Trufant was a good Falcon for a while. Kamal Ishmael, he played decent. Jake Matthews has been that tackle ever since. I mean, six pick, was there better players than him? Yeah, but for just getting something out of him. Devontae Freeman, the fourth round, we got great use out of Devontae. Ricardo Allen in the fifth round. I mean, he's been to a Pro Bowl. I mean, yeah, 2015. Your only good pick was Tevin. Well, Grady Jarrett, the fifth round in 2015.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got Tevin Coleman, Vic Beasley, and Jalen Collins. Terrible. Yeah, I understand that. 2016, Keanu, Dion, Austin Hooper, Devondre Campbell, Wes Schweitzer, like all good players. And then, 2017, you get into the crap. You start going Tech, Duke Riley, Sean Harlow, who played one game. KZ was good. KZ's been good. He's a starter. Brian Hill sucks. I hate him. Ridley,
Dude, chill.
Gage in the sixth round, 2018.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Yeah, listen, I think the Falcon. I'll give the Falcons B tier, especially because they haven't whiffed on. They have whiffed on first round picks, but they have also really hit on a couple. They've had enough late round steals. Excuse me. I think recently they have struggled a little bit, but I don't think it's because of their drafting. I put the Saints in S tier. Uh,
Yeah, easily.
you know, I think part of the reason I'm not putting him top of S tier is the Seahawks and the Chiefs have absolutely demolished drafted. B, a couple of these really good players they drafted aren't playing for them anymore. But let's just highlight it. Jari Evans in the fourth round of 2006 is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Jermon Bushrod, the fourth round of 2007. Um, Malcolm Jenkins, Jimmy Graham in the third. Mark Ingram, Cameron Jordan, two first round picks,
Yeah.
great picks. Akeem Hicks in the third in 2012. Um,
Jesus.
Teron Armstead in 2013 in the third round. Kenny Stills in the fifth. Vaccaro in the first that year. Brandon Cooks in the first. Yeah, not everyone's a stud, but they're so consistent. Andres Pete in the first in 2015. Michael Thomas in the second of
Yeah,
2016,
that's a
and
good
Von
pick.
Bell too. It's just, and then recently too, Alvin Kamara 2017 third round, Ryan Ramczyk first round of 2017, great picks. Marshawn Lattimore too in the first round. It's just so many good picks year after year after year, and then some of these recent picks, it's a little too early to tell some of them. I really like Chauncey Gardner Johnson, but I'll put a bottom of S tier. Vikings, the Kings of
Well, here we
Viking.
go. Yeah, with the Vikings. Looking back at 2005, CJ Mosley in the sixth round was a great pick. Well, was a good pick, I think. Um, I mean, of course, AP in 2007, a top 10 running back of all time, will
You got
easily
Chad
carry some
Greenway
weight.
in
Yeah,
2006 too. AP, he's a Hall of Famer.
Brian Robinson.
John Sullivan, the sixth in 2008's pretty good pick. 2009, nothing crazy. Like Percy Harvin and Phil Lodeholt. Yeah, people think of Percy Harvin kind of as a bust, but it's not like he made a Pro Bowl. Everson
Yeah,
Griffin in the fourth
that's
of
huge.
2010 is great. I mean Kyle Rudolph in 2011 is good. Um, Harrison Smith 2012 in the end of the first round is really nice. Matt Khalil is all right. Xavier Rhodes in 2013, the first round's great. They do have a lot of whiffs though, especially at quarterback. Oh man, but
Yeah, I mean,
they have
they have the
so
best
many
court.
good. Dude, 2015 is insane. Eric Kendricks in the second, Danielle Hunter in the third, Stephon Diggs in the fifth.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Uh,
2016 is bad with Laquan Treadwell.
I think I can. Are we confident enough to put him over the? No, I don't want to put him over. What are you thinking? High B tier, low A tier?
I think high B.
Yeah, I think because they whiffed on quarterbacks and Laquan Treadwell and stuff and Trey Waynes, some of their first round whiffs have been whiffs.
Yeah,
But
just
dude,
have
even
not
this
pan
year,
out.
dude, this year their draft is looking pretty good. I mean, they had an army of picks.
Yeah, you see the 18 picks they had. Jesus Christ, I forgot about that.
I'm sorry. I'm putting them low A tier. I have to. No. I'll put them B tier. Screw it. They're so close to A tier. All right, the Bungles.
Dude.
The Cincinnati
Let's see.
Bengals, they're much better drafters than you would have think. Like that you would think off rip. I think they've had some decent success. Just I got to look at it now. 2005 is a terrible draft. Andrew Whitworth, dude, 2006 is sick. Jonathan Joseph, Andrew Whitworth, Domata Pecco, and even Frosty Rucker's all right.
Yeah,
Leon
that's
Hall,
nice.
2007. 2008 is
Oh, yeah.
terrible. Keith Rivers, R.I.P. Keith Rivers. He got destroyed by Hines Ward, I remember, in his rookie year. Andre Smith, pretty decent tackle. Like Ray Maluga, Michael Johnson had some decent years.
Kevin Huba.
Carlos Dunlap and Geno Atkins in
Yeah,
2010.
that's pretty nice.
Andy Dalton, I think, for a second round pick, an early second round pick, is a good pick. Like a very
AJ
good
Green.
pick. You got Clint Bowling as well. Kevin Zeitler in 2012. Mohamed Sanu as well. Marvin Jones. I like these drafts, to be honest. Like they've had some really bad whiffs. Don't get me wrong. I think a couple that come to mind are like John Ross, right? You picked him ninth and he's trash.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, I think they've had a couple. They've had some good picks. I think I'll put him in B tier, low B tier.
Yeah,
What are you
John
thinking about that?
Ross. I'm fine with that. I can deal with that. They're just not like Dolphins bad level.
The real question is like, did they have that sick pick though? Actually,
I mean, I guess AJ Green would have been that sick pick for him, but he just got hurt. Plus, he
I'm
was
putting
like a
him
hot
C
pick.
tier. Are we putting him above or below? We got to put him above the Browns. They just haven't whiffed as much.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the problem is with the Bengals is they've had some good picks. Whitworth may go down as a Hall of Famer. I think he's the one that's got a good shot, him and AJ Green. But it's close. I'm going to put him high C tier though. What about the Broncos?
well, just thinking about some good players around the board.
I mean, Von Miller. You
Yeah,
pick up Von Miller.
But he was.
Wait, does this show up on the screen? No, it doesn't. What are you thinking about the Broncos here, boss?
I'm taking a look at their.
They've had some decent recent drafts. 2018, Bradley Chubb, Cortland Sutton. 2019, Noah Fant, Dalton Reisner, and Drew Lock. Jury's kind of out on him. This last year, it's too early to tell with guys like Judy and whatnot. 2016 is so rough. Paxton Lynch, and that. Oh my god,
that was Paxton Lynch year.
2015 is a rough draft.
That's so bad.
Holy crap! They have 2013 to 2017 is 2016 has just been so rough. Justin Simmons is great though. Justin Simmons in the third round, I didn't see that, is a great pick. He's one of the most underrated safeties in the league right now, in my opinion.
Yeah. You got
Von Miller at pick 2, but
yeah, that's just he went pick. That was the same
Tim
year
Tebow, no Sean Moreno, Ryan Clady, good. Jay Cutler. Oh, Brandon Marshall's a good pick. All right, 2006 is pretty good. I don't know. It's realistically, we can't put him above C tier, can we?
I don't think you can.
I think I put him above the Bucks.
Yeah. You're right, just through that one little stretch from I think it's
too rough. You can't miss.
Just,
you can't completely whiff in 4 years in a row and expect to be above average. Packers S tier. I think I even put them above the
Yeah,
Saints.
yeah, that's
There's
easy.
no question. They literally they've had like 1 or 2 years of iffy drafts, if that. Like I don't even think we need to go into it. They've had so many studs.
Yeah, that's easy.
Like they're a team that has had so much success, and up until recently, we're just a strictly build through the draft kind of a team. All right, what about the Bears?
Let's see here for the Bears. I
So
mean,
recently, I think they've had some good drafts. Aside,
yeah,
even in that Mitchell Trubisky draft, you pick up Eddie Jackson and Tariq Cohen in the fourth round. That's great.
we got Roquan.
Yeah,
You know,
Roquan, 2005.
David Montgomery looks like a good pick.
Devin Hester in 2006. I classified that as a Hall of Fame returner.
Yeah, true.
Greg Olson, 2007. 2008, you pick up Matt Forte in the second. 2009 is trash. 2010 is trash. Granted, your highest pick was a third rounder in both those years. 2011 is
2011 is not that.
trash. That's a rough stretch
And
right there.
Balshawn in the second.
And then 2015 is pretty trash. So, I
Dude,
want to put him
Kevin
in C tier,
White.
but to be honest, I think I might put him very low B tier just because of this, right? Even though years in 2010 and 2009 they had bad drafts, they didn't have any good picks. Like if you look at the other drafts where they have actual picks, they only have a handful of misses. And you look at recently, it's been pretty sick. Like Adrian Amos in the fifth round, great pick. Kyle Fuller in the first, great pick. Charles Leno in the seventh is a
Mm-hmm.
really nice pick. Like, I think that they've had. No, well, I'll put him C tier. There's no way I can argue him B tier. What do you think? Above or below the Browns?
I'd put him above the Browns, I think.
All right, what about the Bengals?
The Bengals. Oh, above the Bengals? Yeah.
All right, so they'll be at the top of C tier. All right, what about the Panthers?
Oh, the Thurs?
The Thurs.
I mean, dude, you're kicking off 2005. You get Thomas Davis,
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, so beast. Um, dude, D'Angelo Williams in 2006. Yeah, 27th overall pick, but I mean, he played in the league for a good amount for a running back.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I'm trying to find. Okay, so dude, even 2009 in a crap class where they didn't have a first round pick, Captain Monerlin as a seventh round pick is nice. Yeah, they just look like a team that. I mean, you picked Jimmy Clausen in round two, which is a crap pick, but then you followed up with Cam Newton,
Mm-hmm.
Luke Kuechly. Dude,
You
this
had
is some good drafts.
2012 Josh Norman in the fifth round. I mean, a little bit of time, Josh Norman was like a top three corner
Dude, they really
for that
don't
one
have
same
a,
year.
a bad draft. I think we have to put him A tier. I'll even put him above. I'll put him above the Titans. Even honestly, they may be top of A tier. This is some good drafting. I think that some of the longevity of the players has hurt him a little bit. Like the fact of the matter is that Cam Newton isn't what he once was. You don't have Luke Kuechly. Um, but dude, other than that, like McCaffrey's a great pick. Like they have so many good picks. They really haven't come out of a draft saying everyone here is useless. They've at least had a useful player in every draft. Like and kind of like an above average in terms of usefulness, right?
Yeah.
Raiders, I have to imagine the Raiders are going to be somewhere around the bottom.
Hmm. Yeah, they're gonna have to be. Let's take a look at them. Raiders.
2005, pretty crap. 2006, pretty crap. I mean, some all right players, but nothing crazy. Then Jamarcus Russell, nice.
You hit on that one.
Darren Oh my God, they have to be at the bottom.
Oh, Darren
Oh my God. Like 2014 is good.
Darius Hayward Bay.
Yeah, they're the bottom. I'm sorry. There's just no way. I don't care what they've done recently. I don't care. It's so bad.
Yeah, 2014 was probably their best class, picking up Khalil Mack and Derek Carr.
All right, what about the Washington football team, aka the Redskins?
Ooh, well, the one pick that comes off the top of my head is Kirk Cousins in the third round?
It's 2005, all right. 2006 and 2007, Ronald Landry was good, made a Pro Bowl. 2008 is terrible, but they didn't have a first. Arakpo 2009, Trent Williams, great pick in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Kerrigan 2011. Kirk Cousins, RG3, Alfred Morris in 2012. That's a good draft. 2013, and I mean Jordan Reed, I think had a lot of potential, but we all kind of know what happened with him. Chris Thompson, decent pick. They also didn't have a first. Same thing in
That
2014.
sucks.
Morgan Moses is pretty good, and Rashad Breeland is all right. Trent Murphy, he didn't have a first. Brandon Sheriff, Preston Smith, pretty damn good. Jameson Crowder. I think the Washington football team is a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, Jonathan Allen,
I think I'll
Martin
put them
Emerson.
bottom B tier. I think it's
I
just
like that.
standard average. They haven't whiffed a whole lot. Yeah, I think one of their problems is that they don't, other than maybe Chase Young as of right now, they don't have like that stud that they've drafted necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've had like Trent Williams was a beast. I think that he's the one that comes to mind that's close, even though he doesn't have a first team All Pro. But like, regardless, I think that they've been pretty darn stinking average. What about the Cardinals? Getting towards the end here.
What do the Cardinals have?
I think recently they've done pretty well. I mean, like the past two classes. Entree Roll is a great pick. 2006 is bad. Calais Campbell in 2008 is a great pick.
Yeah, that's nice.
Patrick Peterson in 2011.
Yeah, that's got to be like the best
Tyrann
pick.
Mathieu in the third round of 2013. Dude, they've had some good picks. John Brown, David Johnson, Buda Baker, Josh Rosen. I think they're right around the Washington football team. Are we putting them above or below?
Dude, I think I'd.
I'll put them above because you want to know
Yeah, put
what?
them a notch above.
They hit a quarterback. I
Yeah, they
think
got
that
Kyler Murray.
the Bills. I may have to put him S tier just because they did draft Marshawn Lynch, and he is just a national treasure. I mean, you hit Josh Allen, which is an unbelievable pick. You hit Trey White, Robert Woods, Stephon Gilmore. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, Marshawn Lynch there.
I feel like they're
Early
just gonna
on,
be
it's
weak.
rough. Paul
Yeah, like
Posluszny was good though. 2007 was good.
Marcel
I,
Darius.
it's like until 2012, the drafts were really weak for them, which is going to hurt them a little bit. I feel like
Yeah,
we
dude.
have to put them
I
B
mean,
tier. I may also put them above the Washington football team just because of their recent success and the fact that they picked a quarterback.
yeah,
Cowboys have
yeah. I
got to
mean,
be A or
it's
S
just
tier. Where do you want to put the Bills? Where do you think we should put the Bills?
I think you should put them B tier. I mean, dude, their recent drafts have just been so good.
Honestly, I think I'm going to put the Cardinals over the Giants and Falcons. I think, and even over the Eagles, I think, dude, the Cardinals have had some nice drafts. I think we were underrating the Cardinals a little bit. Um, and the Bills are like the anti-Eagles, right? Recently they've been good, but in the first part they had success. The Eagles, first part from like 2005 to 2013 they had success, and then recently they've been bad.
Hmm.
Uh, I think this is fine for now. Cowboys, they have to be A or S tier. I have to imagine they hit on like all their first round picks. It seems like.
Yeah, if I can.
Um. So, oh yeah, Demarcus Ware in 2000. Dude, the 2005 class is nice. 2006 is pretty crap. 2007, Doug Free, Anthony Spencer. 2008, eh. Wow, 2009 is terrible.
They didn't even have a first. Their first pick was in the third round.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
even
that's
so, it's
awful.
like they drafted negative relevant players. 2010 was good though. Des Bryant, Sean Lee,
Yeah, that's nice.
Tyron Smith, DeMarco Murray,
Beast.
2011. 2012, you kind of whiffed a little bit. Morris Claiborne with the sixth pick. Tyron Crawford at 81. DN has been all right. Travis Frederick, 2013, great pick. I remember they got a lot of crap for that pick too. Zach Martin, good pick in 2014 with Demarcus Lawrence in
Golly.
the second.
Yeah. Ooh.
Even Hitchens is a good pick in the fourth. Byron Jones the next year in the
Byron.
first. Zeke and Dak. That's such a sick class. Like that middle stretch, I think has to put him in. Uh, are they S tier though? Are they the top of A tier or are they S tier?
I think I would have them the top of A tier. Like they're
I'll put them in the
very
top of A tier.
borderline. You can make a. I could see the argument for S tier. Like recently too. Like their drafts have just been pretty insane.
You know, I'm just gonna cut to the chase here and probably put the Jets pretty low.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I can't imagine. I haven't looked at the Jets yet, but I can't imagine. Actually, I don't know. Maybe because now I'm thinking about it, the Jets, they could have been all right. Or what about the Rams? Um, dude, they picked up Fitzmagic in 2005 in the seventh round. That is the best pick of all time. 2006 was terrible. 2007 was terrible. 2008, you pick up Chris Long at 2. So I think that's kind of an underwhelming pick, too, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Man, the Rams have been crap. Robert Quinn is good. 2012 is all right. Janoris Jenkins, Brockers, Tremaine Johnson. I've seen. Okay, you picked up Aaron Donald in 2014, one of the best defensive players. I'll give you that.
Yeah, that's gonna
Uh,
be your.
so yeah, from 2014 on, it's been all right. Um, I mean, all right. They haven't had a first round pick in ages.
Yeah, they keep on trading away for those elite players. Like,
It's working though.
yeah, it's nice. I mean, I trade away a lot too for
It's like,
Jalen
how
Ramsey.
much credit are we gonna give them for Todd Gurley, Aaron Donald, and their recent success? Because before that, it's pretty crap. Like, do we instantly throw them around? Like, I think it's kind of like the Broncos. I think I'll put them under the Broncos.
I like that. I think that's a fair place for them. 49ers has to be good. Like, they have to be. I feel like they got to be A tier. You know, I'm just thinking about the 49ers. Like, maybe they had some rough years,
Let's see. I'll
like
throw
in
them in A tier for
between.
now. So
I mean,
recently, we
we could
know they've
dive
had
in.
success. Oh my
But
god!
back in,
Recently, they're insane. Yeah, but dude, 2005, Alex Smith, Frank Gore, two great picks.
yeah,
Then the next year, Vernon
yeah,
Davis,
Vernon
Delaney
Davis.
Walker, Patrick
Mhm.
Will. Okay, yeah, I think they're S tier, honestly.
Yeah,
Joe
holy
Staley,
hell!
Patrick Willis, even Deshaun Goldson. I mean, he had multiple Pro Bowls. Michael Crabtree, while he never went to a Pro Bowl or an All Pro, still a solid player. Mike Iupati and
Till he's put
Navarro
on Richard
Bowman, two
Sherman.
All Pros. Alden Smith, another guy's got an All Pros. Colin Kaepernick.
Cap took him to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they're S tier. I think they may even be above the Saints. They're around the Packers, I think. Patriots, I'm gonna put them S tier for now, just because I can't imagine. Even though we're not including Brady, if you look at the Patriots draft success, it is still absurd, that early period.
Mm-hmm.
So many good players. Recently it has been kind of rough, which may bump them. I think that may bump them down to right before the Cowboys. Like Logan Mankins, Hall of Fame caliber player. Matt Castle in the 7th round is still a great pick too.
Yeah.
2006, nothing crazy. Brandon Merriweather, great pick in 2007. Gerard Mayo in 2008. 2009, you pick up Edelman, Sebastian Vollmer, and Patrick Chung.
That's nice. It's a good
2010,
class.
you pick up McCourty and Gronk. Solder, 2011, and Marcus Cannon.
Wait, you forgot about Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, that was a good pick too. Hightower, Chandler Jones, Jamie Collins next. Dude, the real question is, how much are we knocking him for the recent years? Like, I feel like
I
we
think
have to put him below the Cowboys if it's since
yeah.
2005.
I mean, I like it right there. You got to remember a huge part of their success was because they had Tom Brady too. I mean,
All
some
right,
good picks. I mean, yeah. I like Ravens. I would go ahead and put them in S tier too somewhere.
yeah, I imagine they're going to be S tier. They've had some disgustingly good picks. Now, I'm pretty sure we're both before Reed and Lewis. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, 2005 was pretty crap. Oh, Haloti Nada, Chris Chester, good Ben Grubbs, and Marshall Yonda. Holy crap, these are good picks. Flacco, Ray Rice. As much as Flacco is a meme, he's still good. Kruger, Michael Orr, Ladarius Webb, very serviceable. But 2010 was kind of crap. Jimmy Smith, Torrey Smith, Tyrod Taylor, Pernell McPhee, good players. Kaleki Osamele. My God, this team just breeds guards. Just offensive line. Kyle
Kyle
Juszczyk.
Juszczyk.
What a beast. I mean, yeah, Ryan Jensen, Ricky Wagner, Brandon Williams, all good players. CJ Mosley,
CJ Mosley.
2014. I mean, 2015, they had some bad picks, but they still pick up Zadarius Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie Staley, one of the top tackles in the league right now. Marlon Humphrey, beast. Lamar Jackson, Orlando Brown, Mark Andrews, sick class in 2018. Yeah, they have to be S tier. I think they may even be above the
The
Saints.
Niners.
Do
Yeah,
we
the
put them above?
Saints.
I think they may be above the Niners too.
I think I put
I'm
them
not sure
above the
they're above the
Niners.
Packers. I don't know. I don't think I can put them above the Packers though. I
I'm
think
not
it's
putting
a
them
little
above
too
the
tough.
Packers. Yeah.
All right, my Pittsburgh Steelers. I want you
D.
to say where you'd pick them. Okay, screw you, buddy.
D tier. I would put the Steelers. I really need to look at your later picks, but I think Gart S tier.
I have to imagine there's so many good picks from like this time period.
Yeah.
Like there's been a couple busty kind of classes, but for the most part, we've been pretty damn good. Yeah, you got to put us S tier. I'd put us above the Saints. I think above the Niners. I think we'd be below the Ravens though slightly. We'd be right
Mm-hmm.
around the Ravens.
I think
Damn,
that's
dude,
a good spot for
2017
you.
was so disgusting, that draft class. All right, and the Jets, the final team, the New York Jets.
Let's see what they got in the year 2005. Mike Nugent. All right.
This is rough. I'm not gonna lie.
Darrell Rivas in
They've had good
2007.
picks. Like, yeah, like so from like 2007, honestly, like early on, from 2005 to like 2012, 2013 was really good. And then recently, it's just been so trash. I actually think
Oh my.
um
Jamal Adams.
I think I'm gonna put him above the Washington football team. I'm actually gonna put him B tier. Lower B tier. I think that's where you have to put
I
him.
think that's fair for him.
Just because they had
Yeah, I
so
think
many
that's fair for him.
sick picks early on. Like, you can't just discount that. Like Nick Mangle, DeBrickashaw Ferguson, Darrell Revis, um, a lot of serviceable players. Muhammad Wilkerson, Tamario Davis, Sheldon Richardson. You know, and they got him to 2 AFC championships. But
Yeah.
that's gonna do it for the tier list. You got anything you want to move real quick? Anything you don't like?
I think these are fair. I mean, I'd like to see the Falcons in S tier, but that's beyond my ability. I'm
I'm the
just
one
talking
with
in
the
general.
mouse. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. I know the episode went a little bit long. We kind of went a little crazy on the tier list, but if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. But that's gonna do it for this one, and peace out.